What's going on, Jays Nation? Ryan Hall here, and honestly, the last few days have had me fired up in a way that I didn't expect this early in spring training. Because right now, there are two very different conversations happening around this team. One of them is coming from us, the fans, the people who actually watched every single pitch last October. And the other one is coming from the TSN Overdrive panel. Specifically Steve Phillips, who went on air and said, and I quote, "I don't really understand it," referring to why Trey Yesavage hasn't been pitching in Grapefruit League games. And look, I've got a lot of respect for national media, but Jays Nation, sometimes these guys just don't get it. And today, we're going to break down exactly why the Blue Jays' approach with Yesavage is not only smart, it might be the most important decision this organization makes all season. But before we get into it, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video. We do this every single day for the Blue Jays community, and it means the world. All right, let's break this down. So let's start with the criticism itself. Steve Phillips and the Overdrive panel have been raising eyebrows over the fact that Trey Yesavage hasn't appeared in a single spring training game. We're a week plus into Grapefruit League play, and Toronto's most exciting young arm is nowhere on the box score. And on the surface, I get it. I understand why a casual observer looks at that and goes, wait, what's going on? But here's the thing. Here's what those guys are missing. Trey Yesavage is 22 years old. He was drafted 20th overall in 2024. And in 2025, this kid went from Single-A Dunedin, let that sink in for a second, all the way to starting in the World Series. He threw 139 and 2/3 innings total between the regular season and playoffs. That is, by a wide margin, the most innings he has ever thrown in his entire post-high school career. At East Carolina, his max was 93 1/3 innings in a full college season. Think about what that means physically. His arm went from 93 innings to nearly 140. And those final 27 of those innings came under the brightest, most high-pressure lights in October baseball, including a 12 strikeout performance against the Los Angeles Dodgers in Game 5 of the World Series. The first rookie to do that in Fall Classic history. That arm carried us. And now some people want to complain that he's not throwing meaningless March innings in Dunedin. Come on. But here's where things get really interesting, because this isn't just a gut feeling. John Schneider came out and addressed this directly. He said, and I love this quote, "Looking at the broad picture, I think it would be unrealistic to say, all right, Trey, first year in the big leagues, here's your 32 starts and your 200 innings. That right there tells you everything. The Blue Jays aren't hiding anything. They're not being evasive. They have a deliberate, thought-out plan. And the plan is simple. Ramp him up slowly, protect the arm, and have him ready to go for the full season, including, if everything goes right, another October run." The latest update from Keegan Matheson has Yesavage scheduled to throw a 2-inning simulated game against minor leaguers this week. After that, there could be 2 more short outings before opening day. And Schneider confirmed, he is breaking camp with the big league club. He's starting the season in Toronto. They just may limit him to 3 or 4 innings early on while he builds up. And honestly, if you watch this team navigate Yesavage's workload last year, level by level, pitch count by pitch count, you know this front office has already proven they can do this. Look at his pitch counts through the minors. 68 pitches here, 73 there. They never let him go past 89 until Game 5 of the World Series, when Schneider let him empty the tank and go 105. They nailed it last year. Why would anyone doubt them now? And if you're still watching, I appreciate you, because this next part matters. Let's talk about the bigger picture. Because the Yesavage situation doesn't exist in a vacuum. This Blue Jays rotation is stacked right now. Dylan Cease just signed a 7-year, $210 million deal to anchor the staff. Kevin Gausman and Jose Berrios are back. Cody Ponce comes in on a 3-year deal after a 1.89 ERA and 29 KBO starts last season. And Max Scherzer, a future Hall of Famer, is back on a deal that could be worth up to $13 million. You know what that depth means? It means there is absolutely zero reason to rush Yesavage. There is no urgency. There is no injury crisis. There is no, we need him to throw 6 innings in a spring game right now situation. The rotation has enough veteran presence to handle the early schedule while Trey builds his arm strength the right way. And Yesavage himself? He gets it. He said, "I know everybody in this organization has my best interests in mind. They limited my pitch count last year, and I was able to stay healthy the entire season. They're the professionals at this." That's a 22-year-old kid with that level of trust in his coaching staff. That's maturity. That's exactly what you want to hear. Now the real question becomes, what does success look like for Yesavage in 2026? When you look at the numbers, the sweet spot feels like getting him back near that 130 to 140 inning range in the regular season, while leaving something in the tank for October. Because Jays Nation, let's be honest with each other. This team is built to go back. The AL East is going to be brutal, but this roster, with Vladdy, with Springer, with this rotation, has championship DNA. And if Trey Yesavage is healthy and locked in come September, the rest of the American League is going to have a very serious problem on their hands. His splitter, his command, his poise under pressure, we've already seen it on the biggest stage. Imagine what a full season of that looks like when he's properly prepared. This is not a concern, this is a feature. The Blue Jays are playing the long game, and Jays Nation, that's exactly the kind of front office decision-making that builds dynasties. So the next time you see a TSN panel question why Trey Yesavage hasn't appeared in a Grapefruit League game, just remember what you saw last October. Remember Game 5. Remember those 39 postseason strikeouts. Remember that this kid went from Single-A to the World Series in 1 calendar year. The Blue Jays know what they have. They protected it last year, and they're protecting it again right now. That's not something to criticize. That's something to be grateful for. Drop a comment below. Are you worried at all about Yesavage's spring workload, or do you trust the process completely? I want to hear from Jays Nation. And if you want full Blue Jays coverage all the way through opening day and beyond, hit subscribe and drop a like on the video. We're covering this team every single day. I'm Ryan Hall, this is Jays Quick News, and as always, go Jays go.